to The Fitterist Show with your host, Christopher Allen, where we explore the art of mind and body conditioning. In the Never Bet Against Science category, this week we examine the early results of a gene editing research study that looks to have permanently reduced LDL and triglyceride levels in monkeys. These two markers are key factors in heart disease, and this foundational research could one day ultimately provide a cure for heart disease, potentially a huge deal. Next, we take a look at Lululemon's recent acquisition of Mirror as Lulu looks to expand its in-home fitness and workout portfolio. Finally, we review a home fitness app that dubs itself as the, quote, world's smartest personal trainer. We'll see how it stacks up and how it helps you stay on track with your fitness goals. So, let's dive in. In the first gene editing experiment of its kind, scientists have disabled two genes in monkeys that raise the risk for heart disease. Humans carry these same genes as well, and the experiment has raised hopes that a leading killer, heart disease, may one day actually be cured. Researchers at Verve Therapeutics set out to block two genes which help regulate the LDL cholesterol and part of the system regulating triglycerides, type of blood fat. Both genes are active in the liver, which is where cholesterol and triglycerides are produced. People who inherit mutations that destroy the gene's function actually do not get heart disease. People with increased blood levels of triglycerides and LDL cholesterol have dramatically greater risks of heart disease, heart attacks, and strokes, the leading causes of death in literally most of the developed world. Drug companies have developed and are marketing these two inhibitors that markedly lower LDL cholesterol, but they are expensive and must be injected every few weeks. So these researchers at Verve Therapeutics decided to edit the genes instead. The medicine that they developed consists of two pieces of RNA, a gene editor, and a tiny guide that directs the editor to a single sequence of 23 letters of human DNA among the genome's 3.25 billion so-called base pairs. 23 letters out of 3.25 billion pairs. Pretty impressive. So the way they do this is the RNA is surrounded in tiny lipid spheres to protect the medicine from being instantly degraded in the blood. The lipid spheres then travel directly to the liver, where they are ingested by liver cells. The contents of the spheres are released, and once the editor lands on its target, it changes that single letter of the sequence to another. Think of it as just like in a word processor where you're going in, finding the letter that you want to, word that you want to edit or delete, and deleting it, typing in another word. That's the same way that this RNA editing works. Not only did this system work with 13 monkeys, but it appeared that every liver cell was actually edited. So after gene editing, the monkeys' LDL levels dropped by almost 60% within 2 weeks. And with that same process, that same gene editing process, also led to a 64% decline in triglyceride levels. 2 weeks. The results were presented on the last Saturday in June at the annual meeting of the International Society for Stem Cell Research. Again, this symposium was held virtually, but had about 3,700 attendees around the world. Scientists are writing up their findings. It's important to note that these findings have not yet been peer-reviewed or published. And remember that it'll be years before human trials can begin, and gene editing technology so far has kind of a mixed track record. It's a little too early to know whether this strategy will be safe and effective in humans, even though it was successful in monkeys. Now, these monkeys, of course, are going to be monitored for side effects or other treatment indications for some time to come. So what does this mean going forward? Now, in treating a condition as common as heart disease, right, you have to remember that even an uncommon side effect can mean many people are affected. So far, though, the researchers say that they haven't seen any inadvertent editing of other genes, but it's something that they need to look critically at throughout the rest of their studies. Another question is how long the effect on cholesterol and triglyceride levels will actually last. The hope is that it will literally be a one and done. Edit the gene and you're done. You don't have to inject it every 2 weeks. You just one time. But they have to obviously validate this with clinical trials over a long period of time. But it's much too soon to say that everything will be safe and long lasting. I just don't know yet. It's still early. But if the strategy does work in humans, the greatest impact globally could be in poorer countries that can't afford more expensive treatments for people of high risk of heart disease. So that's a big plus. It's important to note that most of the gene editing technology has been focused on very, very rare diseases. And also much of the research has done in mice. So primates are a much more difficult challenge. So this is promising that it's been successful in monkeys. So the plan moving forward for the researchers is hopefully within a few years begin treating people who have had heart attacks but still have extremely high cholesterol and or triglyceride levels, because this group is at specifically high risk for another heart attack, and so that the possible benefit for a treatment like this would likely far outweigh the risks of the treatment. So it's a good candidate pool to reverse the effects of heart disease. Heart disease generally only occurs after decades of high cholesterol levels too. So the long-term hope here is that this gene editing technology could be utilized in much younger people before they've had a chance for arterial plaque, cholesterol, and triglycerides to build up in their system. So if they could do this and identify these genes in people in their 20s, there is a possibility that heart disease could essentially be eliminated in the future. And in our second news story of the week, yoga pants retailer Lululemon agreed to buy Mirror, a maker of in-home fitness equipment, for about $500 million, broadening a partnership that began last year as exercise increasingly moves away from traditional gyms. Now, we profiled Mirror in episode 39 of The Fitterist Show. You can check that out at www.fitterist.com/039 for episode 39, and how they are innovating by leveraging connected devices and technology for on-demand and customized exercise classes. So if you remember the premise of Mirror, it's a wall-mounted, full-length mirror that doubles as a fitness screen that allows you to stream live and on-demand workouts to you directly in the comfort of your home, with classes that range from absolute beginner walking, high stepping, to advanced workouts that include things like boxing, weightlifting, cardio, yoga, Pilates, stretching, strength training, dance, all of those different types of things. And just to summarize, the cost of the Mirror was $1,500 for the basic unit. That doesn't include sales tax. $250 for delivery and setup, a subscription which is required, which is $39 a month or $468 a year, with a minimum commitment of 1 year. So your year one total in is about $2,213 plus tax for the Mirror. So it's not a trivial purchase. But many people have been beefing up their home workout capabilities with the pandemic and the lack of a desire to go to a physical gym location. According to Lululemon, Mirror will operate as a completely standalone company within Lululemon, and they're going to keep the CEO, they're going to keep her on board following the completion of the deal. And the sources of liquidity that they are going to purchase Mirror are either from cash or the credit facilities. They have about $800 million in cash and a credit facility of about $700 million, so they can cover the cost of the full acquisition. Now, this deal really shifts Lululemon from becoming much more of an experience company, a fitness experience company, rather than just its pure roots as an athletic wear retailer. While Lululemon has always been very fitness-minded, this deal comes at an interesting time when clearly home workout solutions are in high demand. The pandemic has really limited workout options for many people across the entire world, not just the United States. Remember, this is a global pandemic. And the continued and ongoing closure of gyms, health clubs, and fitness centers has just prolonged and exacerbated the problem. Even when they begin to reopen in different locations, people are probably going to be a little wary of returning to a high-risk, enclosed, indoor space as long as the virus continues to be in existence and we do not yet have a vaccine. Now, couple that with the backdrop of Peloton and home fitness products like Peloton. They've really surged in popularity as this pandemic has just closed gyms. Mirror is based out of New York. It's known for a lot of its cool, edgy subway ads. Also, again, offers live classes, on-demand workouts, and really tries to position itself as a digitized personal trainer that you have in the comfort of your home. Since the deal was announced, Lululemon shares on the stock market rose probably a little over 5%, and shares of Peloton actually went up slightly too. Initially went down on the announcement, but then rebounded and rose, clearly indicating a bullish trend for the home fitness market in general. Now, this deal to acquire Mirror is expected to close in the second quarter of Lululemon's fiscal year, and Lululemon actually did take a small stake in Mirror last year. So this is really taking a stake, looking at their growth and progress, probably getting a peek behind the curtains and seeing what their roadmap is and what their growth has been like since they are an investor, and just taking them out and pulling them fully under the wing of Lululemon. Mirror, as an independent company, should be profitable as early as 2021. And while currently those devices are only available in the United States, Lululemon does plan to expand the distribution of the Mirror product internationally. We'll see how this deal and the synergy between Lululemon and Mirror progresses, but I don't think this is the last, as people look to build out great experiences combined with merchandising, retail, apparel, and other merch. Not sure this is the last type of this deal in the space, but we'll stay tuned. And our third news story of the week. Continuing with our theme of working out from home this week, one of the many ways that the coronavirus pandemic and all the gym closures have really impacted our lives over the past several months, one of the biggest things at least, is the ability to keep us from the gym, making it really difficult for those who rely on exercise, like myself, to not only stay fit, but just also serve as kind of a mental break in the middle of the day or early in the morning or night whenever you work out. But these stay-at-home orders have led to different schools of thought. Some people are just saying, well, I'll just pause my working out, and then when it gets better, I'll go back to the gym. And the other camp is, I got to adapt. I got to get creative. I got to figure out a way to work out at home, get my butt moving, walking, hiking, jumping jacks in the backyard, just being creative, but continuing to work out. So to help people with that is the Onyx Home Workout App. Now, this app was designed to make sure that you hold yourself accountable during your workouts. Its technology is fairly clever. It taps into the camera on your smartphone, and it uses the 3D capture system on the phone to count your reps, actually correct your form, and track almost any exercise. It actually gives audio feedback personalized to your performance in real time. So if you're doing a push-up and your back is too rounded, it will say, straighten out your back on your next rep. It's like having a personal trainer there with you, really kind of coaching you to work harder, use the proper form, make sure you're exercising the right muscles, and tracking everything too, counting your reps, counting all of your exercises and sets and reps, and timing things like if you're doing planks, just to make sure that you stay on track. So it really turns that camera on your smartphone into what they call a smart personal trainer. We'll go into some of the workouts in more detail, but just some of the examples of the app functionality. It looks and measures your performance and tailors the workout to you really in real time. Again, it tracks your sets and reps. It counts your squats, times your planks, measures your pace. Again, all just with a camera and its internal artificial intelligence. It helps improve your form with real-time feedback, again, so you can maximize the muscles that you're trying to exercise and also avoid injury. It also, not surprisingly, compiles detailed stats for all these exercises, so you get the benefit of understanding how you're improving over time, whether that's in correct form exercises done properly or just pure, you've done planks and held from X duration to Y duration to show your improvement. It also has some social features that's still early, but it has leaderboards and things that you can compete for extra motivation, inviting your friends and kind of working out with them, but also competing with them. So how does it work? Well, new users complete a survey in the app explaining what they want to achieve, what areas they want to focus on, and then the app uses its artificial intelligence. It goes and looks at its library of potential programs and challenges that it can present to you to help meet your customized goals. You can also see the stats of other people taking part in some of these challenges and things like that. And if it does issue a challenge, if it's a push-up challenge or whatever, one thing I thought that was kind of cool is that actually, if you're challenging a friend, the app can donate a certain amount of money. Not sure exactly how it works, if it's the pool of everybody or just what you put in. It will donate that money when you share your challenge highlights with them. It'll donate that to charity. So beyond the challenges that I just described, the workouts and programs are all separated into pretty traditional categories: cardio, full body, legs, glutes, upper body, arms, all the different types of workouts that you might want. And within each section, they're kind of further broken down. So when you select upper body, you might see program and exercise routines for chest, arms, etc. They have a lot of clever names for a lot of these, like Suns Out, Guns Out for arms, chest toner, things like that, which are, I guess, cute and clever. The workouts are actually pretty interesting because some of them can be quite short, but they're organized to not be easy. They're challenging. So you can have an 8 to 10 minute core coordination session where it's really working on your core that really gets your heart rate up and gets you sweating. Some more of those programs that they offer within the app, again, names like Move Those Legs, Tush Toner, Sweat Off the Pounds, and most of these programs range from 2 to 3 weeks in duration to try and achieve the specific goal that you want. And once you pick one of those programs to follow, it will actually recommend exercise session to complete each day. And it's not the same cookie cutter formula of the exact same exercise sets and reps each time. The workouts vary, and they also vary in time. Some might be just a few minutes long, some might be a little longer, but the goal is to overall be effective in getting you toward your goals. The app also has a built-in kind of gamification system. As you progress through different programs and workouts, the app rewards you with encouraging badges and trophies that are displayed on your dashboard in the app. With regard to pricing, Onyx is a subscription-based platform with the pricing, as far as I can glean from their website and the app store, as follows: $14.99 a month, $59.99 a year, or apparently they have kind of a affiliate-sponsored lifetime membership for $79.99, which gives you access to all of its programs, challenges, all the features of the app for the lifetime. Availability: the app is currently only available in the Apple iOS App Store. There is no Android version. The app has a rating of about 4.9 out of 5 stars, so people love the app. It has about over 2,800 ratings to date, so it is well reviewed and sports a 4.9 out of 5 star rating. It also connects with Apple Health in the iOS and iPhone Apple ecosystems. You can log all of your workouts. And exercise tracking, though, is only supported by True Depth devices. So now this limits the market a little bit further. You have to have a minimum iPhone 10. So it works on basically all the iPhone 10s and all the iPhone 11s. If you have anything older than that, you're out of luck for the exercise tracking. You can still use the exercise routine, but the tracking part is, I think, the special sauce that makes this app truly unique. Hopefully, there's an Android version in the works, which also, ideally, or should connect to Google Fit to do parallel functionality in the Android world. Overall, The Onyx Home Workout App seems like it's a decent solution to provide personalized home workouts with just your iOS smartphone. At a price point that is, again, far below those of a Peloton, Mirror, or Tonal system, Onyx leverages the smartphone, that artificial intelligence, and innovative software to really help people work out at home, hold them accountable, and kind of stay on track for their fitness goals without breaking the bank. Might be an interesting app to check out. And that's all for this week. We'll see you soon. With that, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to listen to The Fitterist Show. You can follow us on Instagram at FitteristMindBody and on Twitter at FitteristMind. If you enjoyed this episode, please send it to a friend or subscribe to make sure you don't miss any future episodes of The Fitterist Show. My name is Christopher Allen, and make it a magical day.